COVID vaccine is now mandatory for the first time for people who work in the aged care sector. 250,000 workers will need to receive the first dose by mid-September or risk losing their job.
That will be implemented in a partnership between the Commonwealths and the states, preferably using the same system that is used for having mandatory vaccinations for the flu for aged care workers.
National Cabinet has introduced an $11 million program to incentivise aged care staff. It can be used when a person needs time off to get the jab or if they suffer side effects. For more, I'm joined by ACTU Secretary Sally McManus. Sally, what do you make of this? Is it fair to make sure all aged care workers are vaccinated?
Look, we've always wanted all aged care workers to be vaccinated. We've wanted teams to go to the aged care homes and to give them the vaccine. In fact, aged care workers have been waiting for 5 months for that. Now they've made it mandatory, we've got to make sure we support those workers. And that means making sure they can actually get the vaccine, giving them a choice. Heaps of them are under the age of 40 and, at the moment they won't have a choice around vaccine. And also making sure that, like so many of them are casual and work multiple jobs, that if they lose money because they're sick, that they get paid. That payment is $30 per worker. That won't even cover 1 hour.
Okay, so the grants, yes, a start, but don't go far enough.
Yeah, it's $30 per worker per jab, and we know with most of the vaccines there's routine side effects, and if you're a casual worker you don't get paid leave. So effectively, aged care workers are funding the vaccine rollout. They're some of our most low paid. Just think about what life was like for them last year. They were with residents locked down who are lonely and scared. Like, we need to be supporting these workers. If we're saying you're going to lose your job if you don't get vaccinated, we need to support them.
Yep, fair enough. Also, mandatory vaccines for quarantine workers and those involved in the transport of people in quarantine, but no grant money for them. Are there any other jobs that should be made mandatory for? Some people are saying retail workers should go to the head of the queue and airline crews.
There's two different issues. One is about making it mandatory, and that should be just some medical experts that make that decision. And you can understand why they've done it for vulnerable workers, vulnerable residents in aged care, and also for the frontline quarantine workers. Totally different matter for people that are retail workers. That's about the queue. So you want to make sure that you're prioritising those that are in contact with the public, and obviously retail workers are, and they should be, along with meat workers, that's another really key risk area, should be the next in line. But it doesn't appear to be there's any line anymore. It's sort of like just go to your GP and get it and compete with everyone else. Okay,
so you're asking this mandatory system to be expanded across a whole lot of other different areas?
No, we're not. We believe that this should be only the medical experts who decide that. What we're asking for is a prioritisation for workers that are most likely to be exposed. Not to make it mandatory, but to give them access to the vaccine before other people, because otherwise we've got to prioritise those that are most likely to spread it to protect the rest of us.
Yep. All right, Sally, good to see you. Thank you.